What's up, everybody? How you doing out there? In this video, we're going to be doing something that I haven't done before yet, and that is octopus. Okay, now these are small ones, you know, and you can get really big ones, but these are small ones, and this is going to be more of like an appetizer type thing, you know, something to munch on. But I figured I'd kind of go over the tips here and everything you really need to know about cooking octopus. I got this at the Korean market, and first thing I did is I smelled it because does it smell fishy? Because if it smells fishy, just like all seafood, if it smells fishy, you probably don't want to eat it because it's not fresh. Okay, what you'll do is you kind of, there's going to be like this little hole right here, right above the eyeballs behind it, and you can kind of slice into that and then open it up, and inside here is where you're going to find the insides as well as the ink sac and stuff. Okay, and you can kind of turn this inside out, and anything that's inside here you want to clean out. Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay, we can turn this back inside out again, or right side out again. Okay, so we've cleaned out the head portion of it. Okay, now what we do down here, we have the mouth. Okay, and with the mouth you can kind of take this and squeeze this, and it'll kind of pop that mouth out just like that. Okay, we can get rid of that. If it's a larger octopus, you can leave it in, cook it, and then when you cut it, you can just remove it at that point. Okay, this guy right here, for the most part, has been cleaned up. Okay, but the tentacles on it a lot of times will have sand or other types of nasties in there, so we want to clean that up real well. I'm just going to take the octopus that I've already cleaned and I'm going to throw it inside here. And we're going to prep this guy too. Like I said, we can just kind of come over here and kind of like squeeze, and then that mouth will pop out. You kind of have to work it a little bit, but there you go. Mouth is gone. So we have our octopus inside here. And the way that we're going to clean it is we're going to put salt. Okay? And this is like our abrasive. And this is what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of grab it and we're going to massage it. Just going to squeeze it and massage, squeeze and massage. This is going to clean anything out of the tentacles. This is also going to end up tenderizing the octopus a little bit, so that way it won't be as rubbery, because octopus, just like a lot of seafood, has a tendency to be a little rubbery if you overcook it. Okay. Okay, so it's been rinsed, and I want to rinse all that salt off because it can get a little salty, and sometimes it'll go up inside the head, right? So you want to make sure that this is you want to make sure it's rinsed really well. So no matter how I'm planning on cooking this, I kind of want to pre-cook it, and I'm going to do it by boiling. Okay, for each pound of octopus, it's about 15 to 20 minutes that you would end up boiling it, and it would end up cooking it pretty much all the way through. And we're going to gently dip it in for about a second or so, pull it back up. You're going to see that the tentacles are kind of wanting to already curl up. We do that again, bring it back up. And what we're doing here is called tempering it. Okay, so we're just kind of doing this a few times, and each time we do it, we leave it a little bit longer, and then on the last one pull it up, and then this next one is going to stay in there. Okay, there we go. And then, so if you were planning on doing it from the rolling boil, you can do it like that. Okay, and then that is another way that people will end up cooking the octopus. So we have one in there that started from the cold water that is going to actually be cooked a little bit sooner than the other one, but and then we have the other one that we tempered. But we're going to know that these are ready when we can get a knife. There's a little bit of foam up here, and by the way, this broth you can use still. You can use it to make a a soup or whatever. But you're going to know that it's going to end up being finished because right here on the tentacle, if you take a knife, it'll kind of go in there fairly gentle. And that's going to tell you that it's finished. So what I usually do is I cut off the tentacles because they're going to get in my way. So where the eyeballs are, generally right below that, I'll get rid of it because this is edible. The head is generally edible too, but it looks like I might have left something inside there, so I'm just going to dispose of this. I mean, what is that, half of a bite? This is the one I put in there when it was cold water, okay? And to me, it looks like it shrunk a lot more, okay? But is the flavor really any different? We're going to find out. They taste almost the same. They taste almost identical. This one right here is more tender than that one. This one tastes more rubbery. You lose a little bit of size, but the tenderness is better. We're going to take an egg and throw it inside here. A little bit of kosher salt. At this point, I'd probably put like 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper in here if this was for somebody else, but I can't have black pepper, so I'm going to leave it out. Maybe put a little bit of paprika in here. This is mostly for color. You could put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder and maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of onion powder in here as well. This is cayenne pepper, and I'm just putting just a hit. Parsley, maybe a teaspoon. And when it comes to seafood, I am big on fennel seed. I think it's great. So I'm going to be putting a little bit of fennel seed in here. Usually I'll crush it, grind it up in a mortar and pestle, but I'm not going to do that today. And I'm going to be using potato starch. You can use cornstarch. This right here is adequate, okay? But like I said, you know, you can add your black pepper, you can add your onion powder, garlic powder, or you can just put like some cayenne seasoning in there, like Creole seasoning. That would be really good too. Since this is already cooked, it's not going to take long for this to cook, because all we want it to do is just fry up the breading. So by the time I get all of these in there, it's probably going to be really close to being finished already. Take this, flip it, because I want to make sure it gets cooked all the way through. Give it another minute. And when I say a minute, I mean probably closer to 45 seconds. And then this is pretty much done. When it first comes out is when you want to end up putting a little bit of salt. We did put a little bit of salt in the batter, so there might be enough there. But let's try a piece. That's so good. I wouldn't even know that was octopus unless somebody told me. That fennel seed, man, wow. It really takes things over the top. But there you go. Fried octopus. And it really, no matter how you're planning on cooking your octopus, if you do everything that I had told you at the beginning, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you check out my other videos. And until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later.